You will have used a regular printer where it prints in 2 dimensions. 3D printer works on the same principle, just with an extra dimension. You start with a 3D image on your computer. The image is then sent to the 3D printer, where it's interpreted as a stack of slices. These slices are printed one on top of another. When it's done, you have a precise 3D model of your image. In most 3D printers, each slice is squirted out on a thin layer of liquid. The liquid hardens immediately, and then the printing surface lowers. This process is then repeated over and over until whammo, that's your object, made exactly to your specifications. Most of these printers use a spool of plastic as their stock, or raw material. But the stocks can be just about anything, from wax to metal, or even chocolate.
Wow, it seems like magic.
Yeah, it does seem a lot like magic, doesn't it? Doctors can print joint replacements, hearing aids, or other stuff that requires a custom fit. Astronauts in a space station could print out equipment that they need instead of waiting for shipments from Earth. But the biggest change might be seen in manufacturing, in the way everyday goods are made. Today, most products are mass-produced in factories. People and robots assemble thousands of copies of the exact same item and then ship them to the stores. In future, if most people have their own 3D printers, they'll be able to make lots of these products at home. All you'll need is raw materials, like plastic or metal, and a computer file to which you want.
Gun control for us is a fantasy. In a way that like people say, well, you're being unrealistic about printing a gun. I think it's more unrealistic now, especially going forward, to think you could ever control this technology.
Self-described crypto-anarchist. Cody is trying to put an end to the gun control debate with 3D printing. As one of the key figures in the Wiki Weapon movement, his goal is to produce and publish a file for a completely 3D printed firearm, one that anyone can download and then create with the right tools. He does this under the banner of his Austin, Texas-based company, Defense Distributed.
So the project begins and no one will listen to you.
Is this guy a hero or a villain?
That's a good question. I said, if we could print a gun, other people could do this. Like, what if we gave it away, open source style? What would that mean? And we realized, wow, this is really attractive. You begin with the file. Often you have it in CAD, it's parametric, you can edit it, but you say, well, you don't know how this works, so you test it in software because that's cheaper. Then you find your printer. What material does that printer use? And you say, okay, I'd like this material. Let's see what this can do. You wait 12 hours, you wait 7 hours, you might wait a day. Okay, now we have a piece. So this was our first piece that could take us to like 100 rounds. In fact, the whole operation has pivoted. I've got 4 or 5 guys, really all the people that I know are talented in SolidWorks, working on high capacity magazines. It proves the point much better than the low receiver does. You can't ban a box and a spring. This is a Colt M16, a printed high capacity magazine.
He believes that he's doing the right thing and that he is kind of perpetuating this kind of technology and looking at what it will be. But I also think that there is definitely a part of what he's doing for attention. I mean, the reader email I got on that gun piece was phenomenal, and a large majority of it was, why are you giving this kid attention? It's clear that this is why he's doing it. As someone who's been covering 3D printers since they were essentially becoming into the mainstream a little bit, right? I have seen that the people that are interested in them are teenagers. And so my thought when I heard about what Cody was up to was the fact that the first people that are probably going to use these are going to be kids.
"2012 was a bloody year in America, one that saw 16 mass shootings in 15 different states. The violence led Helen O'Neill of the Associated Press to dub it the Year of the Gun. It all came to a head on December 14th in Newtown, Connecticut.
Yeah, these units in the pool, I got bodies here. Let's get ambulances.
That morning, 20-year-old Adam Lanza entered Sandy Hook Elementary and killed 20 children and 6 adults before taking his own life.
3D printing is like desktop printing. No, it's not. It's nothing like it at all. It's not going to be the same. And who can know? I do see how there's materials like carbon morph coming out. There's complex materials coming out, even for cheap printers, in unexpected ways. And I think if complex materials can keep being developed for 3D printing, it is going to be what some people are saying about it, a real step forward. Maybe this paint, we'll give it like a 0.01% strength improvement.
Yeah.
And we'll break 100 rounds today.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Shortly after we wrapped filming, Defense Distributed posted this video on their YouTube page. It shows the latest version of their lower receiver firing over 600 rounds without failure. When we reached out to the ATF for a comment on this story, a representative told us that there are currently no restrictions on an individual manufacturing firearms for personal use. They then directed us towards their FAQ. Then, on March 16th, Defense Distributed announced that the ATF had approved Cody Wilson's application for a federal firearms license. Cody is now able to sell the 3D printed lower receivers, but he won't.
I don't think we're utopians. I think the real utopia is the idea that we can go back to the 1990s and everything will be perfect forever. All we're saying is, no, you can't. Now there's the internet.